It says live on YouTube.
Yes, but it's not like it's on a you can find it. Tell you after. Yeah.
Wait, so is it actually going to be on YouTube?
It is on YouTube, but it's for the judge recording of his terms. They keep them for at least 3 years.
Good morning. This is call number 2020-22668 in the interest of Talon and Rose Wade. Please raise your right hand to be sworn. You solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
All right, ma'am. Please state your name and your relationship to the children.
My name is Takia Carter. I'm the mother of Talon and Rose Wade.
All right, for the state.
Jacqueline Adeyemi.
Court will note that the non-custodial parent is Ashton Warren Wade. Mr. Wade was served personally on August 19th, 2020 at 5218 Park Village Drive, 3:17 p.m. This is in Houston, Harris County, Texas. He was given further note, and he found no answer. Is that correct?
That is correct, Your Honor.
And given further notice of Zoom hearing by certified mail, return receipt requested, that was delivered on September 25th, 2020. He's not checked in, correct?
That is correct, Your Honor.
All right, let's proceed by default.
Thank you, Your Honor. May I call my first witness?
Yes.
I'd like to call Ms. Takia Lachette Carter. Ms. Carter, who is the father of Talon and Rose?
Ashton Wade.
And is there any possibility that anyone else could be the father of Rose or Talon?
No, ma'am.
Okay. And is it correct that you are asking that the court appoint you and Mr. Wade as joint managing conservators?
Yes, ma'am.
And is it correct that you're asking that no geographic restriction be placed upon you?
Yes, ma'am.
And is it correct that you're asking for a standard visitation schedule for Mr. Wade with Talon and Rose?
Yes, ma'am.
The pickup and drop-off location will be at your home. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Does Mr. Wade work?
Yes, ma'am.
And where does he work?
He works at a lumber yard.
Okay. And how much do you believe him to be making?
$12 an hour.
And how often does he work?
6 a.m. to 6 p.m.
Okay.
Monday through Saturday, I believe.
Okay. And how do you know this information?
He's told me.
Okay. And does Mr. Wade have any other children?
Not that I know of, no.
Okay. And how are your children covered for medical insurance?
They have Medicaid.
Okay. So is it correct that you're asking for a child support amount in the amount of $615?
Yes, ma'am.
And a medical support amount in the amount of $187?
Yes, ma'am.
And all of this to start the 1st of December 2020, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
In the last 4 years, have you and Mr. Wade lived together?
Yes, ma'am, we did for about 2 years.
Okay. And then in the last 4 years, has Mr. Wade ever been in jail?
Yes, he was in jail probably for about 2 days.
Okay. So he has not been in jail for over 90 days. Is that correct?
No, ma'am.
Okay. And in the last 4 years, has Mr. Wade given you any money directly?
Yes, ma'am.
About how much would you say in the last 4 years?
In the last 4 years, I would say about 2,000.
Okay, so is it correct that you're asking for a retro amount in the amount of $9,008?
Yes, ma'am.
And this is to be paid off at $96 a month starting the 1st of December 2020, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And you're also asking for a court cost to be billed against Mr. Wade as of the first day of January 2020, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Your Honor, the state has no more further questions and the state rests.
All right, the court will approve the order submitted. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. May we be excused?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
All right,
thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Carter. You're free to leave.
Have a great day.
You too.
Who we admitted? Arnoldo and
Yes, it's
admit alt.
yes, you can do admit all and it'll. The final pages are still printing out. The attorney's,
All right.
paralegal's going to interpret or argue.
Good morning, Judge.
Good morning. All right, this is called number 2020-03989 in the interest of Norma Villanueva. Please, all parties raise your right hands to be sworn. Mr.
Judge, I have an interpreter
Yes,
for my client. Her name is Jasmine Llamas.
that's fine. Raise your right hands, all parties, including interpreters. You're frozen, Mr. Cormo. Mr. Barrera, you swear to translate from English to Spanish and Spanish to English the best of your ability, so help you God.
Yes, I do.
All right.
Judge, are you able to hear me? My video stopped working, but are you able to hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, I tried to restart the video. And there we go.
There you are.
I think we're okay now.
All right. You solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God. Ma'am?
Yes.
All right. And the interpreter, he solemnly promised to interpret from English to Spanish and Spanish to English. Is Spanish? Is this the interpreter English and Spanish? No, you're frozen again, Mr. Cormo.
Yes, it is from my understanding, Your Honor.
Mr. Corno,
Okay.
there you are again. Just the interpreter. Nomás la intérprete, señora. The interpreter only. You solemnly swear to interpret from English to Spanish and Spanish to English to the best of your ability, so help you God.
Yes.
All right. Custodial parent, no, what do we have here?
CP, Judge.
Her name is Rudy?
The custodial parent.
Okay. Ma'am, please state
Yes,
your
sir.
name and your relationship to the child.
Interpret for him.
Rudy Garissa Díaz y soy la madre del señor Nombrado Villanueva.
All right, and representing the mother?
Daniel Corno, Corno.
I'm sorry, I didn't give her a chance to interpret because I understand Spanish.
Every time he speaks, you need to interpret. So, but go ahead and tell the judge how she answered.
¿Me dijeron su nombre? Rudy Yaritza Díaz. Rudy Yaritza
Yeah.
Díaz. Mamá de Norman Bradley. Mother of Norman Bradley. Norman Bradley Villanueva.
All right, this isn't going to work real well because they're too far away from the speakers, but nevertheless, Mr. Barrera, please identify yourself and your relationship in this case.
My name is Arnaldo Barrera. I'm a witness for the state of Texas for the Office of the Attorney General.
And for the state?
Angela Jeffries.
And representing the mother for the record?
Daniel Corno, Corno.
All right, and what are we doing today, Ms. Jeffries?
Yes, Your Honor, we're finalizing a temp order via default.
All right, the court will note that Norman Ray Villanueva is not present. He was here in September and signed a temporary order, is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor, that is correct.
And in that temporary order is contained therein trial setting for this matter set for today, and he is not checked in, is that correct?
He is not, Your Honor.
All right, we'll proceed by default.
The state calls Rudy Diaz.
All right.
Ms. Diaz, you are the mother of the child, correct?
No, you need to say, which child, Ms. Jeffries?
I'm sorry. You are the mother of Norman Bradley Villanova, right?
Yes.
In the prior order, in the temp order, you agreed to be appointed as a sole managing conservator.
Did we hear an answer?
Not hearing an answer.
Yes.
Okay. And so are you asking that in the final order that remain the same, that the court find that you in final order be the sole managing conservator?
You need to interpret for her.
Ok, en la última orden usted se dio que iba a...
Si quiere que se quede lo mismo en el orden final.
¿Cómo que no? Si quieres que quede lo mismo en la orden final. Yes, that's fine.
Okay. And also in that temp order, the parties agreed that there would be a modified possession schedule and then a standard possession order. Are you asking that that be finalized?
Y también en la orden pidieron que se hicieran unos cambios. Yes.
As far as the health insurance, how is the child covered under health insurance?
Por la salud de seguranza, ¿cómo está cubierto el niño? He only has Medicaid.
Okay. And with the wages, the parties agreed to what Mr. Villanova's income was in the temp order. Is that correct?
En lo de los ingresos, tenían que saber lo de los ingresos.
Y estuvimos de acuerdo, ¿verdad?
Yes.
Okay. And are you asking that the child support and the medical support remain the same in the final order?
Estás pidiendo que el child support y lo de la seguranza se mantenga igual. Yes.
Okay. Now, as far as the retro, when's the last time that you and Mr. Villanova lived in the same household?
¿Cuándo fue la última vez que usted y el señor
Vivieron juntos.
vivieron en la misma vivieron juntos? En octubre, pero recuerdo el año. 2000. October and she believes of 2018.
Okay, and so are you asking from retro from that period till today?
No, la pedí desde noviembre. O desde en la corte y el corte
Okay, Ms. Jeffries, you're gonna
Mhm.
have to set out exactly what you're asking because some of these people don't understand the lingo.
Okay.
So retro what? Okay,
Okay.
so
Are
she's
you asking
yes.
for, sure, are you asking for retroactive child support?
Yes.
Okay, and are you asking for retroactive child support from October 1st of 2018?
Yes.
And as far as the court costs, are you asking that the court costs be assessed against Mr. Villanova?
Los cortes para meter
Los costos de corte.
los costos de
Los costos de corte.
los costos de corte para que ya me también se los pague. Sí. Yes.
Okay, and have you agreed to this default order?
¿Y usted está de acuerdo con la orden? Sí. Yes.
Do you believe it to be in the best interest of the child?
¿Y usted piensa que es en el mejor interés para el niño? Sí. Yes.
Are you asking the court to approve this order?
Estás pidiendo que la corte apruebe la orden. Sí. Yes.
I have nothing further for this witness, Your Honor. I just have one other witness I would like to call.
Mr. Corno, you have any questions for your client?
Very briefly, would you agree with me
¿Está de acuerdo?
that there is a difference from the temporary order to the final order,
Una diferencia en la orden de principio hasta la final.
that there be no geographic restriction on where you can establish domicile for the child? Domicilio.
No está pidiendo el domicilio con el niño. Yes.
Speak up.
Yes.
And are you asking this so that you would be able to establish domicile in the event
Diciendo que está de acuerdo que le puede dar el domicilio
if you'd have to temporarily relocate to Honduras
si usted se tuviera que regresar para Honduras, Israel?
to do your immigration
Para
papers?
hacer sus documentos migratorios. Yes.
Okay.
So, Mr. Corno, how is she to comply with the possession and access from Honduras? How is she to deliver the child to McDonald's on Ritchie Street in Pasadena if she's living in Honduras? Are you there? You froze again. I wish I was at the beach with you, Mr. Barrera.
Yeah. It looks real nice back there.
Judge, it looks like Mr. Cornell has muted himself. I'm not.
Judge, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay. we would default to the over the 100-mile visitation, and I think that could be done by way of air visit, Your Honor, in the case. And then I'm just thinking this immigration papers probably won't take place for the next foreseeable several years, but that in the case that she would on a temporary basis have to go to the Honduran consulate, I'm sorry, United States consulate in Honduras, that she'd be allowed to take her child with her.
Well, okay, as long as she, you know, is able to comply with the possession and access
Thank you, Judge.
of whatever, you know, whether it's 100 miles or less or more.
Right.
All right. Go ahead, Mr. Coroner. Any further questions of her?
No, that was the only question, Your Honor.
Okay, Miss Jeffries, you were going to call another witness. Go
Yes,
ahead.
Your Honor. The state calls Arnold Barrera. Mr. Barrera, state your name for the court.
Arnaldo Barrera,
Where are you employed?
Office of the Attorney General.
Okay,
Texas.
Mr. Cornwall, we're not having any
And what is your
interpretation
position
going
there?
on over there.
You need to interpret for I apologize. I was focusing on the hearing. I want to make sure that my interpreter is interpreting for my client. I'm going this way and I got to go this way. So make sure you interpret everything he says to her. Okay, thank you.
All right, go ahead.
I'll go back. Where are you employed, Mr. Barrera?
At the Office of the Attorney General of Texas.
Okay.
Oh,
He's frozen, so I don't know if that was.
Well, that's going to be up to Mr. Corno, but, you know, go ahead.
Okay. And what is your position there?
A child support officer.
Okay. And what is the nature and responsibilities and duties as a child support officer?
I conduct investigations on calculating child support and retroactive child support.
And have you received special training to calculate child support in compliance with the Texas Family Code?
Yes, I have.
Okay. And have you
Wait a
calculated
minute, wait a minute, Miss Jeffries, you got to give it a little time for the interpreter.
Okay.
All right, go ahead.
And have you calculated retroactive child support in this case?
Yes, I have.
And what did you calculate the retroactive child support amount to be in this case?
The total amount that's owed from October 1st, 2018 through November 2nd, 2020 is $10,225. 0 cents.
And what did you okay. And what did the payment on that amount to be?
Payment on that would be $101 a month beginning the 1st of December, 2020.
And I have nothing further for this witness, Your Honor.
Mr. Corno, you have any questions of Mr. Barrera?
No, sir.
Anything further, Miss Jeffries? Anything further, Miss Jeffries?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Corno, anything
No,
further?
just
Just Miss Jeffries?
are you going to grant the no geographical restriction? Are you
Sure.
going to lift that?
No geographical restrictions are fine.
Okay.
All right, the court will approve the order as submitted. Thank you.
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Thank you,
Thank
Judge.
you. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
All right.
There's one more hearing after me.
What do we- Who's
Hello?
admit all?
Yes. Well, you gotta.
And I'm going to be a
Mhm.
witness, so Your Honor.
Okay.
haven't pulled it up yet, and I'm waiting on the, where it shows it's been delivered.
Well, we can't do anything until we get all that stuff. Let's not mess with it. Let's see. Hmm?
He didn't file an answer.
Okay. This is call number 2020-23240 in the interest of Violet Carizales. Do we have the mother on phone or by phone? You need to.
Yes, sir. I'm on the phone.
Okay, there we go. All right, raise your right hand to be sworn. You solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
I do.
I do.
All right, state your name and your relationship to the child.
My name is Andrea Biancabella, and I am the mother of Violet J. Carizales.
And court will note that the non-custodial parent is J. Curtis Carizales. Mr. Carizales was served on August 15th, 2020 at 2:22 p.m. at 15225 Tayport Lane in Channelview, Harris County, Texas. He's not filed an answer. Is that correct, Ms. Turner?
Yes, it is, Your Honor.
All right, please identify yourself, Ms. Turner, and who you represent.
Marcella Turner for the state of Texas.
All right, and then Mr. Barrera, please identify yourself and your.
Ronaldo Barrera, child support officer for the state of Texas, a witness.
All right, the court will also note that Mr. Carizales was notified of this Zoom hearing by certified mail, which was delivered on September 26th, 2020 in Channelview, Texas. Will proceed by default.
I didn't catch that last end of what you said, Your Honor.
We'll proceed by default.
Oh, thank you. Okay. At this time, the state would like to call Ms. Vela. Ms. Vela, how old is the child before the court today?
She's 2 years old.
And what is her name?
Violet J. Carizales.
And who does she currently reside with?
With me.
And has she always resided with you?
Yes, ma'am.
And are you asking this court to appoint you and Mr. Carizales as joint managing conservators?
Yes, ma'am.
And are you also asking this court to designate you as the conservator who determines where the child resides within Harris or any of the surrounding counties?
Yes.
And does Mr. Harris, just to be for sure, does Mr. Carizales also reside in Harris County?
Yes.
And you understand what that entails, is that correct?
Yes.
And has Mr. Carizales ever visited the child?
Hello?
Yes,
Oh,
can you
I'm
hear me?
sorry. Now I can. Yes. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And has Mr. Carizales ever visited with the child?
Yes.
And are you asking this court to order a modified possession and access schedule up until the time the child turns age 3? And at that point,
Yes.
for the standard possession and access order to kick in?
Yes.
And are you asking this court, in addition to that, within that modified visitation and access schedule, to order 18 visits for 8 hours and 4 visits for 1 overnight?
Yes.
And how is the child currently covered for medical insurance and dental insurance right now?
Currently, as far as best of my knowledge, that she does have insurance through her dad, private insurance with his job, but I don't know the most latest update to it since she hasn't been to the doctor lately. But as a secondary insurance, she is on Medicaid.
And so the last time that you were actually aware that there was any private insurance was which year? Was it this year or last year or when?
Last year.
And do you know whether or not Mr. Carizales has any other children other than this child under the age of 18?
Yes, ma'am. He has one.
One, okay. And do you know whether or not he has a child support obligation or for that child, or whether that child lives with him?
He does have a child support obligation, but no, she does not live with him.
And to your knowledge, is Mr. Carizales currently employed right now?
Yes, ma'am.
And where does he work?
He works at a company called Samson Controls.
And how long has he been there?
Going on about 4 years now.
And do you know what he does there?
He recently, they changed his job title, but he used to be in quality control, but now he just he builds valves. I don't know the technical term for what his title is.
And do you know whether or not he's hourly or salaried? And if so, what does he make?
He is an hourly employee and he makes $24 an hour.
And how many hours a week does he typically work?
He works over 40 hours a week.
Okay. Does that include some overtime?
Yes, ma'am.
And do you know about how much overtime he receives each week? If not, that's fine.
No, ma'am. I don't know off the top of my head how much. I know at least 5 hours a week.
Okay. And are you asking this court to order cash medical support in the amount of $100 each month to begin December 1st of 2020?
Yes, ma'am.
And are you also asking this court to order child support in the amount of $624 each month to begin December 1st of 2020?
Yes, ma'am.
And have you and Mr. Carizales ever resided together?
We used to, yes.
And about what month and year did you stop living together?
We stopped living together of April 2020.
And has he provided financial support for the child since that time?
No, ma'am.
And has he been incarcerated to your knowledge between that time period and
No,
now?
ma'am.
And are you asking this court to order retroactive child support?
Yes.
And are you asking this court to order a retroactive child support judgment in the amount of $4,992 as of today's date, November 2nd of 2020?
Yes.
And are you also asking this court to order that Mr. Carizales pay $75 on that judgment each month beginning December 1st of 2020?
Yes, ma'am.
And you are not seeking retroactive medical or dental support, is that also correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And do you have any safety concerns with your address being disclosed in this order?
No.
Do you believe this order to be in the best interest of your child?
I do.
And are you asking this court to approve this default?
Yes.
No further questions for the witness. I'll pass the witness.
All right, call your next witness.
At this time, the state would like to call Mr. Barrera. Mr. Barrera, where do you currently work?
Office of the Attorney General of Texas,
And how long have you worked there?
13 years.
And what is your job title and your job description?
Child support officer.
And what is the description of your roles and duties as a child support officer?
I conduct investigations and calculate retroactive child support and child support.
And did you conduct an investigation into Mr. Carizales' employment history and income?
Yes.
And what did you find Mr. Carizales' current gross income to be?
Gross income is $4,391.17.
And what did you find Mr. Carizales' gross income to be during the time period of April 2020 up until now?
The same.
No further questions for the witness. I'll pass the witness.
All right, anything further?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
All right, the court will approve the order submitted. Thank you.
Thank you. May we
Thank
be
you.
excused?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. All right, Ms. Vela, you can go ahead and hang up. We're done, okay?
Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Have a good day.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Want to go?